That's around 10 of those.
There's something else been sorted out there, good, isn't it?
Good lunch.
A couple of glasses of wine, that's what
The only thing that I can say about the sequel stock is
give them to step away beads.
we did well.
Friday,
We did best I've ever done it.
Day in Devon.
Oh really?
I asked my son.
Can you do one more? Can you do one more?
You can do fine. The only thing I'd say about but he said
You want me to come and load you?
they ain't gonna stop again.
Really good things on the same scale.
I enjoy black fish.
My house was picked up.
We put a bit of talk on it as well.
No.
I went.
I try to cut
I bring my dog as well.
Yeah.
So that's one called, David? Yeah.
The big one.
This one is called the pink bug. The pink bug. Very imaginative.
What colour is it then?
It's blue and yellow.
Did Sophie come up with it?
Well, do you know what? She did help me with this one. Yeah.
Well, it's
For size hook?
You've got a size 14 curved hook in here, Derek.
like you were saying to me. You were catching right up in. I tried to get them here.
You take them up to the BFFI again?
Yeah.
Eric and Olivia coming as well.
Oh, great. She's already asking about it, saying, Daddy, can we go next year? And, Alright, so this is the last one I was thinking of tying tonight, and it's a bit different to the other flies, perhaps a bit more of a traditional grading bug, shall we say. But there are times when sometimes what the grading will really respond to, if you've tried everything else and you're not getting a response, it's all gone dead. What you can do, especially at the end of the day, stick something really, really bright and nasty on and chuck it at them. It sometimes just gets a response. So I was talking about all these small flies and going quite subtle with your approach. When you've done all that and you've caught your fish, or you just sort of at your last sort of last chance saloon, I suppose, you can put a squirmy wormy on, and that's what. But I'm not going to tie squirmy wormies at here. But we know that they can be effective if you really need something to. But this fly has worked well. I think it's quite a pattern that sometimes just sort of I don't know, shocks the fish into taking or whatever. But it's certainly picked up quite a few fish for me when everything's gone dead. But it's interesting. It's also caught some of the bigger grading that I've ever had as well. So on tricky days, putting something really, really bright, really, really pink on, when you haven't shown the fish that early in the day, in my experience, has sometimes provoked the biggest fish in the group to come and have a go. So it's worth trying this. So I've got a size 14 curved hook. So again, it's going to be a very bright and garish fly, but I'm still staying small. I'm not going big in the hook size on this one. I'm not confident about using really big size hooks on with these really bright flies. I've got a 3mm painted pink tungsten bead in the vise. And I'm using pink Vivus tying thread.
Is it a much thicker thread, silk thread you use?
Yeah, it's not a silk thread. This one. This is like a floss.
Okay.
So it's quite thick. And the rib for this fly, I'm going to use a red medium gauge rib. So I'll tie the rib in first. It's often quite handy when you're using these wire ribs, is just stick them into the back of your tungsten bead before you tie them in, and it just can help just keep them in place for those first few bits.
Maybe if I put these pictures on a WhatsApp group, if anybody asks for the materials, can you tell them what
I will do, yeah. I can fill in the details.
Or when you've got time, you could put them on yourself. If you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got the rib tied in place at the back there, and I'm going to create a shell back on this fly, just using Unimiler. I had a thought actually that Derek's gold.
Want a bit of that?
That would work really well actually. I've got some here actually again.
You got some of it?
So you could, I mean that might work really well. So I'll use a bit of that, shall I?
Yeah.
Something a bit different. What I'll do with this one, just to help tie it in, I'm just going to cut a V notch in the end there. Just helps. It's quite a stiff material, this is. Just helps tie that in place a bit easier at the back. You'll see I'm just going over the body a few times with this very thick thread because I'm just trying to build up a slightly thick underbody. It just helps support the dubbing. And then for the main body of the fly, I'm going to use bright pink or light pink UV ice dub. So this is Hen's ice dub number 6, if anyone's interested. So it's formed quite a nice, fairly chunky rope. No idea how this is going to turn out. What I tend to do when I'm putting shell backs in, you can just tie that down now at the front and then just put a rib over it. I quite like to keep this loose and then to put each turn in whilst the shell back is still
Keeps it on top
Still
that way,
moving.
doesn't it?
Just keeps it on top, doesn't it? And you find that if you tie it in to the front, you can often create bulges and sags in it.
These shell back loops, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, this is a totally unique flight to me now. With this,
Catch thousands of fish on that.
I bet it looks, it's looking good actually. Colour wise.
Especially when you brush it out.
Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that wire rib. Trim off the excess shell material. And I'm just going to put a decent collar of the pink floss in just behind the bead. And then finish.
Bigger pointer collar.
It is, yeah. And just finish that off. Oops. And just before I finish tightening that up, I'm just going to put a bit of varnish on that one. I talked about varnish earlier and said I don't use it for the silk, but when I'm using this floss, then I will use varnish. And as I was talking to Pete earlier on about this, oops, not doing a very good job of this. I quite like this UV impregnated varnish. So I'll just put a little dab on there before we tighten it up. And the magic ingredient, as Derek was saying, is picking out those bits of dubbing.
You not got a little Velcro brush, Davey?
Yeah, I've got this thing on the end here,
Oh yeah.
but I'm just not quite sure whether it's going to get stuck in that varnish that I've just put on. That's any problem. Okay. So it looks very different to the fly I was originally going to tie because of this new material, but I quite like the look of that. I think that could be quite
Effective.
quite effective. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be well worth a try over the winter, I think. I don't know if anyone fishes the River Team around here, but this colour seems to work really well on the team this time of year. This pink and that pink bead as well. Because it often carries a tinge of colour, the team, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At the best of times, it's sort of red in
It
colour.
doesn't get around those things.
Yeah. So I've been talking about a lot of these flies. I've been kind of talking about fishing on the Welsh D and the Severn, which are really clear flow rivers. So even when they're flowing quite high, or even in floods, sometimes the water can still be quite clear. So the fish can be quite fussy. Well, the rivers around here, like the Team and the Onny and the catchment, the rivers carry a lot more colour. So you can use, your more brighter flies. And I know this one, in my experience, has worked really well on the River Team. Just around here. So.
They were coming down I-4.
Get around, you know, Very good.
Okay.
Lovely.
Cheers, Davey.
Thank you very much, David.